Hi friends, today I'm going to be showing you how to prepare Kola Urundai. If I literally translate it from the local dialect, it is deep fried mutton meatballs. This is prepared with traditional spices and it's deep fried. I'm going to show you a small recap as to how I prepare this recipe. I first cooked the meat and chickpeas along with spices in a pressure cooker. And once it was cooked, I ground it into a smooth paste. And I created meatballs and deep fried it in hot oil. It might sound very easy to prepare, but you will have to take care while preparing it. You need a lot of patience to prepare this meatballs. We normally serve it with biryani or rasam rice. The ingredients required for this recipe is meat, of course. I have already washed the meat and I've reserved it. We would also require onion, coconut, green chilies, red chilies, ginger, garlic. All the ingredients used in the recipe, the list of ingredients used in this recipe will be in the description box below this video. I've also used an egg and fried Bengal gram. As I said before, I have used chickpeas in this recipe. So the split chickpeas are already soaked and it is soaked for 30 minutes. Drain the water, excess water, and I've reserved it. I'll also be using finely chopped coriander and curry leaves. For the masalas, I'll be using garam masala, turmeric powder, chili powder and coriander powder. For the whole spices, I'll be using peppercorns, fennel, cumin, cinnamon, cardamom and cloves. Always pre-plan for this recipe and soak your chickpeas ahead of time for this recipe and reserve it so that it's easy for you to prepare it. Now I'm going to start preparing the recipe. Using a pressure cooker, I'm going to add the meat. I've placed the pressure cooker on medium flame. Now to the pressure cooker I've added the meat and the soaked chickpeas. I've drained the soaked chickpeas and I've added the chickpeas. I'm just going to fry it for a minute's time. Now to the meat, I'll be adding salt, chili powder, coriander powder, garam masala and turmeric powder. Now as the meat cooks, it will release its own moisture. So I've just added half a cup of water so that the meat does not dry out fast. I've just added half a cup of water. I'll cook this further and as it starts to boil, I'll cover it and then cook it further. Now you can see the meat has released a lot of moisture. At this point, I'll be adding the curry leaves and coriander leaves that I've chopped and reserved. I'll give it one good stir, cover this and place the whistle and cook it for 3 whistles. Every house, it depends as to how your pressure cooker cooks the meat and rice. So you will have to adjust the timing according to that. So in my house, it took nearly 5 minutes, that is 3 whistles. Up to 4 to 5 whistles in some people's house it takes. So cook the meat accordingly. Now I'm going to start preparing the masala paste. In a wok I've added 3 tablespoons of oil. Now once the oil heats up, I've added the whole spices, peppercorns, fennel, cumin, cinnamon, cardamom, cloves, dried red chillies, ginger and garlic. I'm going to fry all this first. We don't want the masala to have that raw flavor and taste, so that's the reason I'm frying all the ingredients. I've added the green chilies and onions as well. I'll fry all these ingredients till the onion turns transparent. So cook this on medium to low flame. Now once the onions turn transparent, I'm going to remove this from flame, allow it to cool. So this is done cooking. I'm just going to allow it to cool so that I can grind it into a smooth paste. Now in a mixer jar, before I grind the masala paste, I've added the roasted Bengal gram. Grind it into a fine powder. Just before grinding all the masala paste and meat, this is done prior. So we'll need to eyeball and add this fine Bengal gram powder to the meat mixture once it's ground. Now my meat is also cooked. I'm going to check it. Since I soaked the chickpeas, it will really cook well, and the meat is already done. Now there's a lot of excess moisture in the meat. Place it on high flame. Keep stirring it. Allow the excess moisture to dry out, so that when you're grinding it, it is not that very liquidy. So we need to completely dry this excess liquid out. Place it on high flame. Keep stirring it, but make sure not to burn the meat. Now the excess moisture has dried out. I'm going to switch off the flame. Allow the meat mixture to cool down. At this point, my masala paste mixture is ready. So I've added it to the mixer jar and I'm going to grind it into a smooth paste. Don't add water to the masala paste. Grind it as fine as possible. So I've ground it as fine as possible. Now to this I'll add some excess meat mixture and grind it into a smooth paste. The meat already has a little bit of moisture in it, so it will grind the masala paste into a smooth paste. Now at this point my meat mixture is ground. I'm going to transfer it to a mixing bowl, and I have ground all the meat mixture in the same pattern. So at this point I'll be adding 1 beaten egg and salt as per taste. I've checked for salt and I'm going to add salt as per taste. Now I'll mix all these ingredients till well combined. Now the meat mixture is thoroughly mixed, but it's still got that liquidy consistency. So at this point I'll be adding the finely ground Bengal gram powder little by little, and I'll mix it. Don't add too much of powder, just eyeball it and add it. Now this is the point, you'll have to be very careful. If you add too much of this Bengal gram powder, your meat mixture will go very hard. If you add too little, it will break in the oil. So you have to adjust the consistency and add the Bengal gram powder. If you're not very confident as to how much Bengal gram powder it takes, add very little. You can deep fry it in the oil and see. If it splits in the oil, you can add excess Bengal gram powder. But what I suggest is add little by little and mix the meat mixture. You'll have to add the Bengal gram powder depending on the meat quality. Sometimes it's very watery, sometimes it's very dry. So it depends. Once you've added all the ingredients to the meat mixture and it forms perfect meatballs, at that point you just cover this and place this in the refrigerator for 2 hours, or you place it for overnight for best results. The next day you'll have to wet your hands and take portions of this meat and start creating meatballs. And even this meatballs, once you create the meatballs, prepare it into 4 or 5 batches. Don't add all the meatballs at once. I've heated enough oil in a wok on medium flame. To the wok I've added a small piece of tamarind. The reason why I added tamarind is because we have already added eggs and roasted Bengal gram in the meatballs. The oil will start to foam. So that's the reason. This is a tip given by my mother, to add a small piece of tamarind. It will avoid excess foaming in the oil. So as the oil is nice and hot, I've gently dropped the meatballs in one by one, and I'm going to gently toss it and fry it to all sides. If we toss it really hard, the meatballs will crack and it will crumble. So the detailed recipe along with description will be in the info box below this video, or you can click the icon above this video which will direct you to my blog. Blog has many reviews, recipes, and the same recipe is also posted there. So you can visit my blog for a detailed recipe. Now I've gently keep turning this meatballs and I fried it till it's light golden brown in color. Even though I've added the piece of tamarind, the oil was foaming a little bit. So whatever foam was forming, I started to strain it and I removed it. But eventually the meatballs turn into perfect brown, goldish brown in color. I really like the coloring on top of it. So it is perfect. This is how we prepare it in South India. So once it was brown, dark brown in color, I drained it from the oil and I've reserved it on a tissue paper. You will have to serve this right away. You cannot prepare an entire batch and reserve it. As you're preparing this, you'll have to serve it. Once the color changes into brown color, serve it up right away. Also, like me and follow me on my social media, that is Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. All the links will be in the description box below this video. The recipe in detail is posted on my blog and on my Tamil channel, so you can also visit my Tamil channel and subscribe to me over there. I've gone ahead and served this meatballs as hot as possible. I've just garnished it with some coriander, onion and chili powder, a little bit of chaat masala powder, pepper powder. It was amazing. This pairs very well with biryani, rasam rice. It's an excellent South Indian fried snack to be served with your main courses. Do try this recipe and post your comments. I'll be seeing you soon with the next recipe video. This is Vidya Lakshmi. Thank you so much for watching. Bye bye.